Today, of course, Evan Power joining us on Florida's Voice. He's the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida. And there's no going to Canada for Evan, I don't think. First of all, how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling great, and I know I don't want to live anywhere other than Florida.
The whole Canada thing it is pretty funny, but that is, before we get to the real meat of what's going on, and there's a lot of good that took place. Oh boy, is there a lot of good that took place here in the state. That's a serious issue, though, right? That is people, the I'm moving to Canada, who I guess sometimes, well, maybe they're not moving out of Florida because they do appreciate what the legislature has been doing and the governor, right, and how good it is here. So it's funny how a lot of people, a lot of Canadians, we love you Canadians, by the way. I know there's a lot of Canadians that come to Florida and then they get here and it's like, why would I ever want to leave? But I guess it's just indicative of how some people just feel when they lose an election and they get upset and politically, what ends up happening. It's silliness, but still, what a great day. What a great day here in the state of Florida. So good. So good.
No, we had a great night on Tuesday, and you look at what the races we won. We won the state of Florida by 13 points, which is the most since 1988. Rick Scott won by double digits, never won by more than 1% before. And then if you look at, we defended the super majorities that have never been done in history, and we actually picked up a seat in the House. So when you look at what we're doing in Florida, the voters of Florida love it. And I think most of us love what we get to experience here because we have true conservative leadership that delivers for us.
Yeah, and the numbers, the numbers that I think it was Eric that put these numbers out recently, talking about the Florida GOP lead, historic. I mean, the numbers over Democrats even after the 24 election, and the amount that were added, and the flipping of blue counties red, many of them, just indicative of so much. I guess kind of shocking, but not when you understand what we've been able to do here in the state, right?
No, I think it's only shocking because people, 4 years ago, you would have said this was unheard of. We couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
We won in 2020 by record numbers, and it's a presidential year. You're not going to do as good. We flipped 6 counties this time. We won Miami-Dade County for the first time since '88. And a lot of that was due to our outreach to Hispanic voters who just really appreciate what Senator Scott has done and what our government has done, Republican-led government has done. And we flipped Miami-Dade, Osceola County. We picked up about 7 points in Orange County, which is one of the only liberal places that exist anymore. We flipped
Wow.
Duval County.
Right.
So you're looking at all these places where we're having tremendous success. We almost flipped Palm Beach County. And,
Is that
I
right?
think that, yeah, it was 0.66% at the end of the day. So I'm going to declare
Wow.
that kind of a win, if you will. Um,
Right.
so,
Right.
so,
We did
so,
it.
so you're looking at Broward, Leon, Gadsden, Orange as your only places that are really Democratic strongholds. And I'll tell you, we're ready to fire it up in January to get back to work on registering more Republicans and getting them to request vote by mail ballots and starting the whole process over again.
Yeah. And, we were just talking about that earlier about how, you look at your watch and here we are. We're already talking about committees and session on the way. I mean, it's amazing how quickly that happens and getting back to work. I know a lot of people still celebrating, but at the same time, a lot of work to be done. Maybe we should make sure that we keep Nikki Fried exactly where she is. Can we just don't move her, leave her there? What a great job on the Democrat side here in the state. Let Just excellent, excellent work. I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that nothing changes over there because it's. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on Nikki Fried at all?
Well, listen, I'm willing to endorse Nikki Fried or her opponent, whatever she thinks will work better for her, because I like her where she is. I mean, she changed the Democrats' logo to a panther, and that is appropriate because the Democrats are almost extinct in the state of Florida.
Oh, I want to leave it on that, but I really don't because I want to keep going. No, but that is, oh, I feel I feel bad in a way, but I got to be honest. I mean, some of the talk early on. I mean, it's just the two of us talking, sir. some of the talk earlier of being in play, the states in play, all of these different things that are going to happen, how people are upset in certain areas of the state, and none of it came to fruition. Like it was, and I don't mean like a part of it. I mean none of it. None of the things. The numbers, even the polling was off like crazy. Some of the numbers with Trump and Rick Scott. I couldn't believe some of the difference in what it was suggesting and compared to, like you mentioned, like Rick Scott double digits. I mean, come on.
Well, when you look at it, the problem is pollsters use past results to model what their electorate is, and they didn't take into account that we added to our voter registration lead and got over 1 million registered voter advantage. And so when you have that turnout advantage, it changes where the numbers are. And if you go back and rescale those polls, they'll look like 10 or 13 point leads like we ended up delivering. But it's just shows what how kind of historic nature that this shift and change has created in Florida, where it's hard to mark where we are because we've shifted so far right so fast. And to your point on this, is Florida in play? If you go back and play all my interviews, I spent way too much time talking about is Florida in play. I never actually had to talk about the issues that were actually affecting Floridians because that's all they ever wanted to talk about was is Florida in play. But the fact is, the reason we've shifted is we're talking about the economy, we're talking about immigration, and we're talking about making our country safer. And those were the real issues, not abortion and all the fake issues that they manufactured.
Oh man, I can go on all day about those. I mean, I can go on all day. My personal opinions on the downing of Amendment 3 and Amendment 4, and especially 4 in the suggestion. I think I guess I could talk to you about this, Evan, because this that was important to me because as we had talked about before, and I talked about with others, like the lies and being duped, and I'm not that guy, and I don't want that happening here in the state, and some of what was being suggested, and even when it comes to Amendment 4, and look, you take it on a moral value issue, and you look at it that way, and it's a tough discussion to have, but one I'm willing to have, and others are willing to have, no doubt about it. But the lies and some of the media, the ads that were out there in the media, and the lies and distortions that I was hearing, and then even an electorate that went from the overturning of Roe to where we are now, and the states having the ability to do what it is that they want, and we could debate that all day long, but I think a lot of people saw that and realized it's not as dire as some people are suggesting. And even what's going on here in the state and some of the things, I saw some posts recently of people saying, well, now I'm going to have to go across state line. No, what? Like the so outrageous, some of the things that people were saying. And I think that was one of the lessons that I took away from this election was, you can't keep bashing us all the time. You can't be speaking the way you've been speaking about Republicans. You can't keep doing this and expect that people are going to just sit back and take it and believe it for when they know it's not true, because I'm not that person. And then on the other side of it, all the distortions on certain amendments were just wrong. And I think people realize that.
No, I think they decided to lie about what they were doing because they knew the electorate wouldn't pass them when they found out the facts. And once we educated them, those numbers came down quite quickly. But it's exactly what they tried to do in the presidential race too. They told
Right.
us the economy's fine, the border is secure, and we're safer around the world. All of those things are provably false.
Right.
And people woke up and said, no, I went to the grocery store today. Prices were more expensive. I see people crossing the border and costing us. And when you look at the Middle East, you know it's not safer than it was under President Trump. And so I think that what we had was a repudiation of the Democrat Party and a repudiation of the media that has been covering for the Democrat Party and covered for the fact that Joe Biden wasn't competent to do the job for 4 years.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, I always appreciate having you on. I love having the visits with you, especially when it's the way it is right now. It's really good. Although I kind of figured it
It's
would be
it's
this
good to
way,
it's
but
good to visit right now because we have so much to celebrate.
yeah, and we still have so much to do, but at the same time, it's a good day. It's been a good week so far. So love seeing you. And listen, God bless. We'll see you soon. Okay. All the best.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Take care.